Time to start talking centrally the entire time. Okay, welcome back to Retrothon 2025. I am Chitty
What's up, y'all?
And with me is Jamie Loves Games.
Hey everybody.
We are going to be doing a Battletoads showcase here. And so just as a heads up, there's the whole idea. Initially we started with the 100%, and then realized that there is a substantial time gap between the Genesis and NES versions. So we've decided that we're going to do a little bit of a hybrid route. So as we're going through, there's going to be little bits of...
Because the Genesis version actually runs slower, right?
Yeah, quite a bit slower, even if I played at
What about the blast processing?
I know.
The blast processing.
Why are you not speeding
Lies.
up for that? I know. So there will be times where you'll see it'd be interesting right at the start. I'm going to warp right away, and then I'll be 2 stages away, and then we're going to converge way sooner than you'd possibly think. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth and everything, and we wanted to try, it's just like, let's see if we can get the photo finished. When we did our practice race, we nearly photo finished, so I hope that we can do that for you all. Cool. But it's also the chaos of Battletoads. So we hope that you enjoy. So I guess without further ado, I'll count us in, and then we'll get started.
Hold on, let me.
As soon as
gosh darn it, let me reset. Give me a second. The start is weird.
The insides, everything, all of the blast processing.
So I have almost like 1,000 attempts in this. So I have like certain muscle memory for hitting start. So it's like even that is like, oh wait a minute, this is different. Okay, whenever we're ready.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you, Chitty.
Okay, so for the first little bit here, I'm going to be kind of yapping a bit because Jamie is going to be going for a particular cycle, so they know where they're going to be at in terms of a boss pattern and everything like that. And I'm going to just jump right onto the infamous turbo tunnels. There's a slight difference in this turbo tunnels in the Genesis version. Like the slowness actually kind of comes into it, so there are some things where it's just like it's a little bit more cozy. That and the graphics have changed. We're in this sort of like funky Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. So there'll be some things where you'll see the sort of graphical changes. You'll also hear some of the audio changes. There's parts of the Genesis and this sort of like farty, gritty bass that you get from the Genesis version that I actually quite love in contrast. But some of those highs and everything like that you get from the NES, that's the jam sometimes too. So
I did not get the fast boss pattern. I got 2 boots. You don't want any boots in the opening, and so that because the boot is slower than the headbutt, but that's okay. And so, yeah, that opening boss, the turrets, there's a fast cycle you can get if you get there fast enough.
And so the interesting thing between these 2 games is that you will see all of those sort of similarities. So if you're only familiar with the NES version, you're going to be seeing a lot of the same stuff. The only difference is like there's slight differences in speed, the music and graphics and everything like that, but the layout is the same. So it's like if you suffered through turbo tunnels in the NES version, the patterns are all the same. And actually, fun fact, it's the same in the Game Boy version as well. So it's just once you've learned the chaos and endured it, you've endured the chaos for all 3. Still doesn't make it any easier though.
I can't believe how far ahead of me you are.
I know.
Cheating.
How did that even happen? There's no way. Cheater % over here. So with this sort of hybrid route, what's going to wind up happening is if I were playing any %, I'd be taking the warp at the end of turbo tunnels, but for us to have that potential for the convergence, I'm going to actually be finishing all of turbo tunnels and going to ice caverns, and we should by the end of that actually be pretty close to one another, and then we'll be able to kind of see some of the things that are the same and different between both of the games. But as we talked and as we practiced, we had some really good paces.
Yeah, we did our
golds, and we also had some.
We had our practice session. We like synced up in the caverns at one point. That was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But then there were other spots where it's just like, how far behind are you? It was just like, because Battletoads is Battletoads. Yes, Mexican Runner doing this section blindfolded is quite the feat.
Oh yeah. What a baller.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their cues are. There's a part of it where there's a bit of muscle memory, and I can see based on the sound cues, regardless of whatever it is that they used, it is a heck of a tremendous feat. It is really cool to be able to see that. And if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. It's a cool run.
All right, I have made it to Turbo Tunnel.
And with the graphical differences here, so I have little rats on top of rockets. Jamie, when they get there, are going to have like,
I love those rats in the Genesis version. It's so cute.
Yeah, I love the little rats in contrast.
So this level is where you first start to see the dash jumps in this game.
Oh no!
They are a frame perfect input, so it's like a trying to get the super jump. Oh yeah, so if you double tap either direction, you dash. But when you do your second directional, if you also hit jump on the same frame, your Toad will actually carry dash speed through their jump. It's probably like the movement tech for NES Battletoads. There's a lot of other movement tech too, but it's the one that's the most used.
Yeah, it's super tight, but when you get it, it just feels incredible. It's really cool to see. So any of those little nuances that you see Jamie in particular doing, like it's one of those things that it's sometimes hard to be able to relay and appreciate just like the sheer level of difficulty until it is that you start doing it and you're like, oh my goodness, how did they do that with any sort of level of consistency? So this is where it is that you're going to see Jamie likely getting closer to me, and also we're gonna start seeing some of the differences as well. There are little changes like in terms of the patterns and how it is that you deal with some of the enemies in ice caverns, as well as like platform sizes are a little different. And say that in the NES version I'd be jumping at the start for the spike, whereas instead in the Genesis I kind of have to follow it. So again, minor differences throughout. So it's like if you know one game, a lot of skills are transferable, but then there are things like getting on these platforms I have found is way worse on the Genesis version.
Yeah,
it terrifies me.
There's nothing easy about Arctic Caverns, regardless of the version.
Yeah, Jamie and I were talking about it before we started doing this, and I think we both came to the conclusion that it's just like we've probably spent the most time in ice caverns.
On caverns? Oh yeah, definitely.
It is a stage of stages, and if you've been here, you know. you just know. Every little bonk, every little thing that it's just like, oh my goodness, why on earth did I die here? It's like, oh yeah, it's ice caverns.
All right, I made it to the caverns.
Beautiful. Oh no. I've decided that it is that I want to throw for content here, so, bear with me as I continue to make friends with some spikes.
I'm sure I'm going to do the same.
And thanks for the good luck, everyone. We definitely need it but it's all in the name of fun. We were talking before this where it's just like, there's certain games where
fun. Video games aren't fun.
What?
This is work.
What is it?
Whoops.
What is
Darn
this?
it. Pick up the block, Brash.
Is we just sort of accepted that it's just like, we are playing Battletoads. There are going to be times where it's just Battletoads is going to be Battletoads. But at the same time, it's something where it's just like, it's been... Oopsies. Probably one of the more fulfilling runs that I've ever been able to do, because when you first hit your very first like done GGs, I beat the game, it feels good.
Oh no, it definitely does. Like every PB feels like beating the game again for the first time.
Yeah.
Or even every like meaningful PB at least.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, I'm hoping... So I know the snowballs have despawned. I don't know why it does this sometimes. Oh, no. Okay, so I can't remember how many times this barricade...
Hey, are we synced up again? I think we're synced up.
Yeah. I was throwing for some content because I wanted us to be in sync.
Oh, I see. Oh, don't do that.
There are a lot of... Okay. You can despawn those snowballs from hitting that barrier there, and when it happens, I don't know how to recover it. I haven't been able to figure it out, so I just gotta sort of sit there and wait. Okay, so we skipped a little bit of a cycle there.
Well, I'm on to Surf City now. Come and get me, dude.
Come on. So one of the biggest differences...
Also, I started Surf City out with a super jump. That was pretty cool.
Nice. One of the biggest differences you're going to see later, and, you know, if we can get the blessed RNG in chat.
Oh, yeah. Chat, please pray for me to get good landmine RNG. It's so trolly.
The Genesis version, the landmines are completely fixed in terms of their patterns, so... Any mistakes that I make is completely 100% on me. Any mistake that Jamie makes, they can blame entirely on RNG. Because holy moly, the RNG can be brutal. Sometimes it feels like it's just like the game has just decided you aren't allowed to continue. You shall not pass, have fun. Okay, so that actually really brings
this rat fight is pretty easy as long as you get him against the wall, but if he wiggles away from you, you can lose a lot of time. Is that a similar strat in the Genesis version where you just try to get him against the wall?
Corner and then you're good to go.
All right, onto the landmines. Pray for me, chat.
Onto the landmines too,
things.
and then
this I hit one. God, they look stacked up and right in the middle.
Mine will be a skill issue when I hit them, so I have no one to blame but myself. Actually, so that brings up an important, a very, very important point right here. The best reason to run Genesis Battletoads over NES is that in this version, there is no more voluptuous Dark Queen than Genesis Dark Queen. The first time I got there, I was like, oh, hi, mama.
You just pause for a while and admire.
Yeah, it's just like, hang on. I know it's just a sprite, but you know, we just gotta bask in this for a moment.
Yeah, no, she's a babe. I agree. I made it through with one death. Okay.
I decided that I would, rather than getting tripped up by the landmines, skip the platform and just plummet. I thought that it would be a cool swag strat. It wasn't. And I have...
I forget, do you do the snakes or do you warp in the snakes?
I warp in the snakes, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to be taking a very strategic death so I can use a continue at some point because I have decided to throw for content. Just, it's slight bit too much. I have 0 lives. Yes, the plot. We will... And... Okay, and so for those who are just like, oh, hello, Goth Mummy. One of the nice things about the Genesis version in terms of that aspect is that fight takes an eternity. The NES version, there's a very challenging like juggling that you can do.
Yeah, there's different patterns that, depending on like what you have, if she'll bounce back off the wall or stay high on the wall. And you can manipulate it with ground pounds. So there's a real science to doing it quickly.
Genesis version, just enjoy being there for an eternity. That's just how it be. Okay, so we're taking the warp, and I...
Cheater.
You know what? I am gonna take the very strategic deaths here.
On to Intruder Excluder.
Yeah.
Boy, that stage is rough.
Yeah.
So, hardly wait till I get there.
Yeah, so this Intruder Excluder is certainly a stage. It's terrifying, and I feel like there is either 2 modes. It is complete and total go mode, or I'm gonna see how many lives I actually have.
That sounds right.
It is quite
well
something.
It's very much like if you hit the rhythm of it, it's so satisfying.
Yeah,
but if you get knocked off your route, it gets messy very quickly.
Yeah, it's easy to die every, like, with the health management, you die in 2 hits. In terms of the like the traversal aspect, the screen scrolling means that, like, if you are in a particular spot and you drop and you're gone. Dunzo's moving right along. you got to do it again. So it's something where if you drop down anywhere, your heart just sinks, and it's just like, please make sure that I did not advance it just enough. I need that pixel. I need.
Now, are all of the electric gates in the Genesis version on a stage timer, or like a stage cycle like the NES? Because in the one, you're trying to hit them, you know, like in a certain rhythm, so that they line up and you don't have to wait around, because they're always kind of going.
I was about to say,
when they're off screen.
It's a global timer in the NES version, and then in this it's a once it's loaded timer, if I remember correctly.
Gotcha.
I've never played this stage well enough to remember, but I'm fairly certain from what I've seen and tested and everything like that is that it's when it loads, it loads. I'm taking a little bit of extruder, just a tiny bit slower here. Because one of the other things about running the Genesis version is that, like, because it is slower, when you make a mistake can, oh boy, you are getting sent back further time-wise than the NES version. Okay, so this boss, it's kind of interesting because...
darn it. Oh, man, I had to dash jump and it slipped off the log.
Oh, no!
That's okay. I had it. I was doing the thing.
Is that there are 2 different juggles that you can do in the Genesis version. One of them involves, like, some kind of rotating back punches kind of thing, or you can just do the juggle that I'm very unsuccessful at right now. But it's in the NES version. Jamie and I both agreed before we did this is that it's probably the hardest boss fight in the game. The Genesis version, it's not at all.
Oh, really? The moral of the story is
yeah, so much easier in contrast. You're like, oh my goodness, I finally get a break. It certainly exists in the
I thought oh my gosh, you're on Terratubes already. I better move it.
Yeah, exactly.
I better move it.
I'll be curious to see where it is that we converge here, because when we both converged eventually, like, we were actually both playing quite well. So I can't remember exactly where it was. But again, we're playing Battletoads right now.
I feel like, because you don't have any more warps, right?
No, I don't.
I feel like I chased you all the way into the tower. So
yeah, that sounds about right. So we'll see what happens here. There's eventually going to be a point where there is that crossover. So we'll see what happens when we get there.
I don't know. I've said this before on my own channel and maybe during an event, but Intruder Excluder into Terratubes is the hardest segment in speedrunning I've done outside of Area 3 and Metroid 2. It's just really tough.
Yeah, it is. It's a really, like, so there are some points where I feel like you can breathe in this game. Actually, like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a very important question for you, Chitty.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Wham documentary on Netflix?
I did not.
And more importantly, did you watch the 1.5-hour special on this Christmas? Just that one song. There's an 1.5-hour documentary on it.
I did.
You can listen to people speak deeply about the meaning of this Christmas.
Okay. Well,
the Wham documentary is excellent. I highly recommend it. But I just went through the Wham rockets because they sound like Wham to me.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Wham, wham, wham.
Yeah.
So,
I can totally see that. I can totally see that. Yeah. So the stage that Jamie's on right now, feel like is one of those instances where once you know what you're doing, generally, like in contrast, it feels like a break compared to some stages. But the
oh great, you just cursed me.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to curse you and recognize that I was going to curse you.
It's okay.
And that's probably why it is that I died just right outside the checkpoint. I deserve that completely.
Aha. Okay, woo, I made it. Let's go.
Let's see if I can get the spike skip again. Okay, good. And then I didn't jump over the other spikes. Okay, cool. No big deal. But there are certain spots in this run where like you can kind of breathe just a little bit, but Intruder to the tubes is definitely like I completely agree, probably one of the hardest like stretches of a speed run that I've ever done. It is something else, especially like if you're going for the strats, particularly in the NES version. It is terrifying. So if you don't hear anything from Jamie, it's because the ascent is happening. Okay, so I'm getting decent eels spawn back here. Those were terrible sharks. I'm going to ignore the one up if they keep following me. No, they stopped. Okay. The sharks and some of those spawns in the water are entirely random, and so there are instances where it can be absolutely terrifying depending on where they spawn.
Oh, darn it! Oh, Robomanus. You butthead.
And struggled with this section here. You can do little punches in the water, and it just keeps you completely level, both in the NES and Genesis version, rather than doing your
I had that
little hovering with the swim instead. Just if you kind of want to save yourself a lot of heartache.
Nice.
Beauty.
All right, I had a pretty good stage.
Yeah, that was actually quite nice. Manus a bit, but overall that was really good. Okay, so I got to skip a duck. The ducks, you're gonna see Jamie and I go for slightly different strats here. The Genesis version, you can just straight up punch those one-hit KO ducks. The NES version, when Jamie gets there, they will kind of cover what it is that they're doing, but it's essentially... Well, actually, they'll cover it. It's terrifying.
Yeah, so if you kind of like, wherever those little tunnels are, there's like a shadow. If you jump from the shadow and then land in the tunnel, the game thinks that you're actually on dry land and you can do a headbutt.
And if you just, like, you're in the water, you're not supposed to be able to headbutt.
Yeah, so... you're not able to headbutt when you're in the water.
Oh, no!
It's one of those things when you don't know how it works. It, like, looks like magic. Like, oh. Ooh, I'm catching up.
Yes, you are.
Maybe I shouldn't go for that. Oh, yeah, I'm going for all the things. So if I miss that spinner skip, you might... Oh, that wheel's getting close. Go, go, go. That part's always scary.
I decided that I was going to make friends with the ceiling there and bonked on the propeller, which is too bad because my shark spawn and everything like that was actually quite nice. So it made the that climb before the final spinner really, really nice. I don't get to take advantage of that.
Eel.
Where on earth is my fish? Okay, there we are. I don't remember the last time it's been that far. You do not want to be getting hit by that
nice
fish.
Goldfish.
Oh no!
Yeah, the goldfish spawns are RNG, so that can be
shark. Get away! Get away! Get away! Get away!
Frustrating sometimes.
Yep, same as shark spawns.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes trying to kill the shark.
No, get away from me! Oh no! The eel shocked me into some spikes, you butthead.
Yeah, I got one of those too. No, duck! No! We were supposed to go the other way. Why'd you deke me like that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so remember when we were talking about how sometimes Terratubes. This is kind of what we're talking about. This is Battletoads.
Not the hardest stage to play in the game, but one of the hardest to get through because of all the the spawn RNG and it's like the spikes everywhere and so many one-hit kills, like really far back checkpoints. I lose a majority of my runs in Terratubes for sure.
Yeah. I forgot that the duck could go backwards on the before the final propeller. Which is why we're seeing some ducks in chat there because holy moly, it really decided to chomp at my butt. I need that shark to get out of here. Get away. Get away. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not that tasty. You can go the other way now. Totally cool with it. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. All the no's. Okay. Okay, no bonk. We got on the propeller. I can actually descend now. So that was a thing. That was Terratubes. Actually, I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch here because I have died on this. Okay, no. Not counting chickens too soon.
Oh, I had that skip. Oh, darn it. I turned back too soon.
Okay.
Nice, here we go. There's
Rat race. This is a stage. If you've ever played it, you know. So, for those who don't know, the rat is like the NES version. You can punch it out of the way and change the timing of it a little bit.
Oh, no, what's Cheese doing over here? Cheese, get away from me! I'm going for the spinner skip, and I get it. Here we go. No, I turned back into the spike. Darn it!
No.
I didn't even. Oh, that stinks.
So the rat is on a fixed timer in terms of how long it takes you to be able to get down. Oh, I forgot about the getting gas there. So you just have to go quick. And when you are first learning this stage, it almost feels like, why am I doing this? This is impossible. Nobody's going to be able to ever beat this game. Everyone who's beat this game is a cheater because like there's no way you can beat this stage. Once you get into the rhythm of it, it's not too bad, but it's kind of like there's a weird mental thing with
I'm going to try this one more time because why not?
There we go. Love the attitude because I'm going to be on Dark Queen for
I didn't get the turn back. Darn. Okay. I'll let it go.
So you just have to get used to
effort,
the mental sort of gymnastics with like, okay, no, it's okay that the rat's ahead of me. I will eventually catch up. Like it's something else. And especially the third descent is where you're like, you do not have a lot of room for error. In fact, my first gap drop there, I actually might have just ended this whole thing. If I didn't, it's gonna be tight. We'll see. Still gonna go for it.
Now take your time because I want to try this spinner skip again.
There we go. I was about to say, if Jamie's gonna go for all the spinner skips, then I'm going for this too. You may as well commit to it.
It's so much harder to do when with nerves in a marathon.
Yeah, spinner skip is something else. So for those who don't know, it's rather than taking the descent with the chopper there, you actually just drop down and avoid all the spikes and everything like that. It is an absolutely terrifying, nerve-wracking strat, but when you get it, it is so swaggy and cool. Okay, very tight rat race, but
and that one I just did, you can actually dash jump through the propellers.
Oh, okay.
So the last spinner skip, I actually think is the easiest of the three, but it's just really punishing when you miss it because you have to go all the way back.
So now I'm fighting BDSM Rhino.
Oh, you made it to the Rhino already. Okay. I'll try this one more time. If I don't get it, I'll move on.
But we mentioned when we were doing this is like, when we can show off swag, we are showing swag.
Third time's the charm. Let's go.
Love it.
Cool.
Swag is always good. This one is just an alternating. It takes a while, but it's just, as soon as you get into sort of figure eight, you just kick it in BDSM Rhino in the butt and just keep cycling. This is the boss. It's one of the easier bosses in the game once it is that you kind of get into the rhythm.
Yeah, I'm on NES Rat Race. So, of course, there's the infamous soft lock at the end of the stage, which occurs if the rat runs through the wall on the last platform. So one thing you can do to help with that is to not headbutt the rat on the way down. Of course, that makes that segment that much harder. It is still possible to soft lock there. I've done it like once or twice in a run, even if you don't headbutt. Hopefully, we won't have that issue.
Yeah, it's the NES version. That's a part of the reason why it is that sometimes I've been kind of leaning towards the Genesis version, even though I think that there's a lot cooler, tighter tech, and it's a more satisfying run to finish. The Genesis versions, aside from the lovely farty bass, is just a little bit more stable. So in terms of the consistency of the game doing what you want it to be doing, like if you're doing slope headbutts and everything like that, you can just drop inputs and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. You can soft lock and all these sorts of things.
I mean, I used to run Nestroid, so I like games that are held together with Scotch tape. So.
Yeah.
It's like a requirement for me.
You're used to
like now this game works too well. I don't want to play it.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you function the way you're supposed to? Next game. Cliffwinger is on the NES version. It's a stage. It's awful, and making mistakes is grueling, and you have the constant sense of tension.
Yeah, that should be good. Yay! No soft lock. Let's go.
Beautiful. The Genesis version, I feel like they knew that the Genesis D-pad is like just garbage, so there's a lot of wiggle room in Cliffwinger on the Genesis version. So if it ever terrified you on the NES version, maybe the Genesis version is your game. Okay.
Yeah, when I was first just kind of playing the game casually, that was another segment that I thought was impossible. I had to do the pause buffer to get through it.
I was about to say the pause buffer was what got me through it initially. Same as the Game Boy version. This version has always been like, okay, whatever. Okay.
Ooh, Buzzball already. This is gonna be, I don't know. You might beat me there, Chitty.
We'll see what happens, because
if I didn't take all day to get the spinner skip.
Yeah, and it's hard to say because I mess up the climb quite a bit, and even if it is that I like just go through the climb perfectly fine, I might be on the Dark Queen for the next 15 minutes anyway, because holy moly, she's slow in this version.
That's true.
But we'll see. Oh no! Oh no! No!
So yeah, with Klinger Winger, the Buzzball is actually faster than you. But if you, whenever you're about to turn, whatever direction you're gonna go in, you press that. So you're gonna go right. As soon as you hit the corner, you press right on the D-pad, and that gives you like a little boost. So the idea is that you get enough of those boosts around the corners, and then you stay ahead of the Buzzball.
Yeah, but you got to make sure that like. It's your D-pad test. I actually, when I was learning the
That's a good point. Like if you're like tuning a controller or something, it would be a good place to experiment.
Yeah, it's definitely, because if you have any incorrect inputs, it will cost you big time because you'll slow down. It's actually the stage where I found out that my grip strength is quite something else, and I died.
Didn't you like crack a controller from?
I broke 2 NES controllers just by gripping.
Oh my gosh, that's wild. Gorilla grip.
Yeah, that's when I learned about.
We're not going to call you soft touch Chitty anytime soon.
No, not going down that way. It's funny because like I remember the first time I was learning it, and then as soon as it is that I heard the crack, I was like, "There's no way." And then when I looked underneath, it's like, "Oh yeah, wait, I actually did." So Genesis for me.
Stupid Buzzball. Oh, I was on my last hit too. You butthead. All right, I made it to the tower. Good luck, Chitty.
Thank you. So far, that's so good on the climb, but that can change at any time. The climb, a part of the challenge is the camera. I don't know what this cloud is doing, but I'm going to wait for it to do. Uh-oh. No, I guess I'm not going to wait for it. I didn't know we could do that. We just learned something new.
I missed it.
I think I was hoping I didn't have to say the cliche phrase during a marathon run, but I've never seen that before. I didn't know that the ghost would just stay under you. Or the cloud would just stay under you. So we learned something today. We're learning.
Silly cloud. Hey, you, get off of my cloud. Hey, what? Oh, that's right, that guy takes 4 hits. I'm so used to getting a boot there.
Okay, so we're just gonna take it nice and easy on these clouds, and because I've decided that with my 2 lives and already dying on a cloud, I'd rather not do it again. Not a fan. Oh no. Oh no. Spike, don't kill me, please. Please, please. Let me go. Let me go.
Back here.
I don't think there's ever been a time, no matter how many times I've run this game, that this stage doesn't terrify me.
Oh, it's pretty scary, especially on pace. Shaky hands.
Yeah.
Of course, my hands are shaky right now.
It is so easy for you to miss platforms, for platform bases to like you advance the screen just slightly too much, and then the hitbox of them disappears, like all sorts of just shenanigans because Battletoads is Battletoads. So when you're on pace and you really want to be aggressive with the climb, it can take its toll on you.
Here's one of my yellow jumps from the pole, so we will jump and we will land magically on a springboard.
Beauty.
Or a platform, I should say. Ooh, and I got the boot. Nice. Let's go. Stop it. Back here, cloud. Are we synced up? Pretty close.
Close. You're slightly ahead now. But we're about the same spot, and then even if I was ahead, that'll definitely change on Dark Queen. No, advance the screen, I'm gonna get blown off. Bye. See ya. So what I was just about to mention is that one of these, if you advance the screen too much, then you will you're dead. And I did it just to throw for content because that's my jam. So we'll try and not do that again, because when I was practicing this stage specifically right before we started, I was like, you know what, I'm going to keep in mind not doing the thing that I just did just now. So that meant nothing. But Battletoads is Battletoads, so...
No! The queen, you got away from me. You jerk.
Yeah, being the role model.
Tornado,
100%, 100%.
And a Dark Queen is vanquished.
Nice. I'm climbing. You're welcome. I'll demonstrate anytime. Any questions? If you want me to throw for content anywhere else, I gladly will. It's my specialty. I'm hoping... So, okay. I am always terrified grabbing that pole, and then there is one more drop that I have to do that I mess up a lot, and I'm hoping I'm not going to do, because I only have so many so many lives, and I don't want to be doing this climb again. Okay, perfect. This is where it's like, this... No! Okay, I was just about to say this climb is way easier on the Genesis version, and then decided to be a role model again. Down I go. All right.
I'm sorry, I'm trolling you.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, the rhinos are so muscular in the Genesis version.
Oh yeah, those big daddies, they are really they're doing their thing. They're roided up. They're ready to go. They are in a bulk. So for those wondering, well, actually 35 is a really good time for the NES version. So GG's to you.
Yeah, thank you. And it took me like 3 tries to get through that spinner skip, so that probably would have been like a 33, maybe even a 32 if I'd gotten those first try. That was actually a pretty good run for me.
Yeah, that's actually 100% right there. What I was about to mention is that sometimes you have platforms in the Genesis version that you're like, I'm definitely on a platform, and then you can fall through it. I didn't want to jinx myself and say it.
It just seems so much tinier in this version.
It is, and I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to curse myself, and then I guess not saying it cursed me? I don't know. I was punished no matter what. I got scammed, so we're going to be very intentional with... Hey. Don't be losing inputs
Oh, go,
on
go,
me.
go, go, go.
No. Okay. Stop.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Oh, that yellow clown. Nicely done.
Oh my goodness. That should not have been that way, but you know what? It was. It's a thing. Hi, Mummy. So this is Genesis
the
Dark
background,
Queen.
like the curtains in this version. They're really cool.
And if you like the goth Dark Queen look, then this is the version for you, because my goodness, those boots and those curves.
You have those boots too, don't you, Chitty?
Yeah, 100%.
I know you do.
So this is the fight. You saw Jamie do a juggle. You're gonna see me very, very, very slowly do this.
Boot to boot.
boot. Every once in a while I can get 3 hits on a cycle, but because I don't have any oh, never mind, I have a life left. Okay. I just got 1 through points, so I might be a tiny bit more aggressive, but I didn't want to die, because if you die on the Dark Queen and have to redo this fight, very few things can kind of
Is it a checkpoint like the NES version? Do you get to continue
it is.
at least?
But it's still, the
cool.
fight just takes a million years, so it's just like it's pure
That's actually
heartbreak.
really generous of the developers. I'm surprised that Rare did that. They didn't make you do the whole tower over again if you die on the Queen.
Yeah, given
Like,
how
brutal they
often
are
it is
otherwise.
that Rare is kind of a jerk about things, 100%.
Get Good, like the original Get Good developers.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you baby gamer?
this moment right here, and what happened to me on the climb with the clipping the platforms and all that sort of stuff, is for the people who are just like, why do you have a 40-minute estimate? This is why. I shouldn't get too many hits off. We might actually like done right on a 40, which is just like 100% just because I wanted to show as much Battletoads as humanly possible.
What's really cool, Chitty, I mean, like you play a lot of games. You know, like at least when it comes to speedrunning, I play a lot of games casually, but I usually just work on one speedrun at a time. And I saw you go live last night, like playing something completely different. I was like, holy smokes, like Chitty's just like a beast. Like, I'm like practicing Battletoads all week, and Chitty's like, I'm gonna play some other stuff, and I'm gonna work 12 hours.
Yeah, no big deal. I don't even know how many games are on my like speedrun repository. See, that's what the estimate was for. On the dot 40.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Well
speed run like a ton of games, and I don't do them as intensely as I used to, but I play a ton of bullet hells, so there's a lot of that stuff there too. Thanks for the GGs,
everybody in chat. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. 60 milliseconds over estimate.
Oh, better luck next time. Yeah, I'll do a better estimate next time. Next time I run this game, I'll make sure that I do that, and then they'll be like, why on earth did you put 6 frames? And it's like, you'll know.
Right.
When you get there, you'll know. But I hope that you all enjoyed that. A lot of people didn't even know that the Genesis Battletoads game existed. Before I started this grind, I didn't realize that there were so many so many Battletoads games. So I've run 8 Battletoads games now.
Wow.
And there are 4 more. I don't like the Double Dragon crossover, so I didn't bother with those ones.
It'd be cool if we could get a Battletoads relay going, like there's a Metroid relay.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. And then Game Gear Battletoads, if anybody's seen it, it's
Game Gear Battletoads? Oh, yeah. I bet that's a sight.
It's a sight. It's awful. Don't ever play it. The rest of the Battletoads games are great, though.
Toadathon. Ooh, I love that.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm running Toadathon. This is the moment. That's why I grinded all these Battletoads games for this moment. The one-man show. Thanks for joining us, and GG's to you, Jamie. That was incredible.
Same to you, Chitty. That was really fun. Hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Enjoy the rest of Retrothon.
You